Sirozah 1. 1. Or Mazd. To Ahura Mazda, bright and glorious, and to the Amesha Spentas, to Bahman, Devohu Mano, to peace, whose breath is friendly, and who is more powerful to destroy than all other creatures. To the heavenly wisdom made by Mazda, and to the wisdom acquired through the ear made by Mazda. 3. Arde Behest, Asha Bahista, the fairest, to the much desired Airyaman, made by Mazda, to the instrument made by Mazda, and to the good Sa'aka, with eyes of love, made by Mazda and holy. 4. Shah Rivar, to Kshatra Va'irya, to the metals, to mercy and charity. 5. Sepen Darmad, to the good Spenta Armaete, and to the good Rata, with eyes of love, made by Mazda and holy. 2. Ha'urvatat, the master, to the prosperity of the seasons and to the years, the masters of holiness. No 6 here. 7. Murtad, to Emeritat, the master, to fatness and flocks, to the plenty of corn, and to the powerful Ga Akarana. Ga Akarana, made by Mazda, at the Ga Havan, to Mitra, the lord of the wide pastures, and to Rama Havastra, at the Ga, at the Ga, the dawn and the early afternoon, at the Ga, rapid wind, to Vahista, and to Atar, the son of Ahura Mazda. They don't take the son bit literally, because the word fathers use God as the father of creation, that sort of thing. At the Ka, Uziran, to Apam Napat, the tall lord, and to the water made by Mazda. At the Ka, Aewis Ruthrem, to the Fervashis of the faithful, and to the females that bring forth flocks of males, and to the prosperity of the seasons, to the well-shapen and tall-formed strength, to Verethragna, made by Ahura, and to the crushing ascendant, at the Ka Oshahin, to the holy, devout, fiend-smiting Sra'asha, who makes the world grow, to Rashnu, Razista, and to Arstat, who makes the world grow, makes the world increase. 8. Da'e Pa Adar, to the maker, Ahura Mazda, bright and glorious, and to the Amesha Spentas. 9. Adar, to Atar, the son of Ahura Mazda, to the glory and to the wheel made by Mazda, to the glory of the Yasts made by Mazda, to the awful glory of the Kavis made by Mazda, to Atar, the son of Ahura Mazda, to King Husrava, to the lake of Husrava, to Mount Asnafont, made by Mazda, to Lake Ka-e-Kasta, made by Mazda, to the glory of the Kavis, made by Mazda, to Ptar, the son of Ahura Mazda, to Mount Ra-Evant, made by Mazda, to the glory of the Kavis, made by Mazda, to Ptar, the beneficent, the warrior, entity who's a full source of glory, entity who is a full source of healing, to Atar, the son of Ahura Mazda, with all Atars, and to the entity Nairio Sangha, who dwells in the navel of kings. 10. Aban. To the good waters made by Mazda, to the holy water spring, Ardve Anahita, to all waters made by Mazda, to all plants made by Mazda. 11. Korshed. To the undying, shining, swift-horsed sun. 12. Ma. To the moon that keeps in it the seed of the bull, to the only created bull, to the bull of many species. 13. Tir. To Tistria, the bright and glorious star, to the powerful Satavaesa, made by Mazda, who pushes waters forward, to the stars, made by Mazda, that have in them the seed of the waters, the seed of the earth, the seed of the plants, the star, Vanant, made by Mazda, those glorious, to those stars that are 7 in number, the Hapto Iringas, made by Mazda, glorious in healing. 14. Ghosts. To the body of the cow, to the soul of the cow, to the powerful Dvaspa, made by Mazda and holy. 15. Da'epa Meher. To the maker, Ahura Mazda, bright and glorious, and of the Meshaspentas. 16. Meher. To Mithra, the lord of the wine pastures, who has 1,000 ears and 10,000 eyes, an entity invoked by his own name, to Rama Vastra. 17. Srosh. To the holy strong Sarasha, who is the incarnate word, a mighty, speared, and lordly entity. 18. Roshan. To Rashnu Resista. To Arstat, who makes the world grow, who makes the world increase, to the true spoken speech that makes the world grow. 19. Farvardin. To the awful, overpowering, Fervacious of the holy ones. 20. Bahram. To the well-shapen, tall-formed strength, to Verithragna, made by Ahura, to the crushing ascendant. 21. Ram. To Ram Vastra, the Vayu, who works highly and is more powerful to destroy than all other creatures, to that part of thee, O Vayu, that belongs to Spenta Enu, to the sovereign sky, to the boundless time, to the sovereign time of the long periods. 22. Bod. To the bounteous wind that blows below, above, before, and behind, to many, to the manly courage. 23. Da'e-pa-din. To the maker Ahura Mazda, bright and glorious, to the Meshaspentas. 24. Din. To the most right Kista, made by Mazda and holy, to the good law, to the worshippers of Mazda. 25. Ard. To Asha Vanguhi. To Asha Vanguhi. To Asha Vanguhe. To the good Kiste. To the good Aretha. To the good Rasastat. To the wheel and glory made by Mazda. W-E-A-L. to Parende of the light chariot, to the glory of the Aryas made by Mazda, to the kingly glory made by Mazda, to that glory that cannot be forcibly seized, made by Mazda, to the glory of Zarathustra made by Mazda. Astad, to Erstat, who makes the world grow, to Mount Ashe Darena, made by Mazda, the seat of holy happiness. 27. Asman, to the high, powerful heavens, to the bright, all-happy, blissful abode of the holy ones. 28. Zemyad, to the bounteous earth, to these places, to these fields, to Mount Ashe Darena, made by Mazda, the seat of holy happiness, to all the mountains made by Mazda, that are seats of holy happiness, of full happiness, to the kingly glory made by Mazda, to that glory that cannot be forcibly seized. 29. Mahraspand, to the holy, righteous, performing Mathra Spenta, to the law opposed to the Evas, the law of Zarathustra, to the long traditional teaching, to the good law of the worshippers of Mazda, to the devotion of the Mathra Spenta, to the understanding that keeps the law of the worshippers of Mazda, to the knowledge of the Mathra Spenta, to the heavenly wisdom made by Mazda, to the wisdom acquired through the ear and made by Mazda. 30. Anevran, to the eternal and sovereign luminous space, to the bright Gauro Namana, and to the sovereign place of the eternal wheel, to the Kinvat bridge, made by Mazda, to the tall Lord, Apam Napat, and to the water made by Mazda, to Ha'ama, of holy birth, to the pious and good blessing, to the awful cursing thought of the wise, to the all-holy entities of the heavenly world and of the material one, to the awful overpowering pravashes of the faithful, to the pravashes of the first men of the law, to the pravashes of the next of kin, to every entity invoked by his own name. And I guess they do mean invoked. But one of the things that we have with that is the savage philosopher idea that was going on when this translation was rendered. Monotheism is sort of a first thought. Over time, people say, well, these are the things that we respect, and that gets exaggerated, and maybe these are points or objects or forces of power, and, that builds up there. So there are a lot of notes here, so I'm going to start on the end notes, because we are, we're 80-something into that. In the greater Sirozah, the names of the entities invoked are introduced with the word Yasa Ma'ideh, we sacrifice to. If I recall right, that's sort of, could be ambiguous depending on your interpretation. The sacrifice may not be on the behalf of such and such entity. But in the lesser Sirozah, there is no introduction in the word Krishna Atra, propitiation, being understood as can be seen from the introductory formulas to several Yasts. Akste does not so much mean peace as the power that secures peace. Ham Va'ente, from Ham va, possibly from bond to strike, peace that smites. We see those double swords on the two of swords in so many of the tarot decks, don't we? Taradvatem Nyayis Daman, interpreted Tarvin it tartum min zaki an daman pun anashti akar kartan. In the Pahlavi commentary, more destroying than other creatures, to make non-peace, anakste, powerless. Asnya kratu, the inborn intellect, intuition, contrasted with gasho sruta kratu, the knowledge acquired by hearing and learning. There is between two nearly the same relation as between the para vidya and apar vidya in Brahmanism, the former reaching Brahma in se para Brahma, the latter sub da Brahma. The word Brahma is taught and revealed. The mopeds of latter times interpreted the name Magus as meaning men without ears. Hor insuer que loer docteur aviet pulse tote sa science den las ciel et quil lit. Oh, well, I'm going to skip. Oh, I'd even know something from Amsterdam, so maybe that's not even French. So, and there's a golden instrument that we've mentioned in Sirozah 1. Oh, maybe we mentioned it in the commentary beforehand. Okay. Presiding over 30 days. Okay. And then we'll get to the personification of the wheel here. Airiman. Fa'uru do ithra kamak do isser. She is the genius of the eye. Min o-i hukas smih, the reverse of the evil eye. And Emeritat is given reference to the white home, our plant of immortality. In Yasts 15, Yasna 1 and 3, where Mithra and Rama are invoked in company with the genius of the Havana period of the day. And Rama Havastra is listed as the genius of fire. It's the spirit, the Da'iman. And Asha Bahista and Atar are invoked in company with the genius of the Repethwin period of the day. And to remember, so we have the dawn, sunrise, early afternoon, late afternoon, evening, and dusk, to be finished before dawn, ritual periods. And so this son of Ahura Mazda phrase is literally the son of the waters. Okay, that's... But either way, it's, like a special role. Remember all that stuff in the Bible about, David and Solomon and a lot of sons of God. He was originally the fire, because no one took it literally. He was originally the fire of lightning, as born in the clouds, like the Vedic Apam Napat. He still appears in that character. He is for that reason the lord of the females, because the waters were considered as females. But as Napat means also navel, the same words have often the two meanings of navel and offspring, of Nabhe in the Vedas, and the Zend Nathyo, offspring, from Natha, navel. Apam Napat was interpreted as the spring of the waters, the navel of the waters, which was supposed to be at the source of the Arvand, the Tigris, and perhaps it would be better to say, to the flock of the Favrashis, of the faithful men and women, and the genius of victory, the tall wall formed the day before Adar, so the 9th day. Da'eh is the Persian yesterday, which is the same word as the Sanskrit Yasts, Latin Hare. The 8th, 15th, and 23rd days of the month are under the rule of Ahura and the Amesha Spentas. Like the first day, they have, therefore, no name of their own, and are named from the day that follows. The month was divided into 4 weeks, the first 2 numbering 7 days, the last 2 numbering 8. Da'eh pa Adar, reference that, are better the glories of the Aryas. Eram, Desas, Rinam. The glory of Havareno is threefold, according as it illuminates the priest, the warrior, or the husbandman. Yasts 19 is devoted to the praise of Havareno, and glory of the Aryas, and Adar 9. Here we have are the awful kingly glory. Kaveh means a king, but it is particularly used of the kings belonging to the second and most celebrated period of the 2 mythical dynasties of Iran. And everything on the other side of the Persian Gulf can be called Iran, really. It's at some point it was. But some people would prefer that race be called Persian. Some people want to distinguish the Khorasan area, and it's a difficult thing. But when I say Persian or Iranian, that's what I mean as far as saying a race. I mean that whole region. The Kadis succeeded. The Paradata are Peshdadeans, and Darius Kadamanas was supposed to be the last of them. For an enumeration of the principal Kadis, see Yasts 13. The Havareno alluded to in this clause is the Havareno of the priest. It is the fire known as Adar Apra, or Adar Frabah, or better, Adar Farnbog. And Husrava Mount Asnavant. So we have a mountain in Adar Ba'egan, Azerbaijan, is that what it's called now? Where the king Husrava settled the fire, Gushasp, and Azerbaijan or something like that. Our Afghanistan could have been one where Zarathustra started. Definitely, it seems that perhaps his mission was to both these places. The glory of the waters, the fire known as Adar Gushasp or Gushnasp, with the help of the king Husrava, destroyed the idol temples near Lake Kakast, and he settled it on Mount Asnavant. And see, so the idolatry was kind of done away with as time went by. The Ra Avant. But of course, that sort of stuff comes back, and the polytheism and all that comes back. Well, not of course, but in the Buddhist field, we have some of that going on too. And so the mountain on which the Berzine fire is settled is the fire is known as Adar Buraga Mihira, Adar Berzine Mihir. Its object is the science of husbandry. King Gustasp established it on Mount Ra-Evant. And all sorts of fires would be employed. The fire of Nairio Sangha, as the messenger of Ahura, burns hereditarily in the bosom of his earthly representative, the king. So we have that Vedic thing of the Agni and the Soma being representations of your drives, your consciousness. We have the same thing here, the Atar and the Ha'ama. Evo Data Gaus. The seed of the bull. Pa'uru Sarada Gaus, the couple born of the seed of the only created bull, and from which arose 280 species. And a lot of these numbers are, straight up symbolic, and that's their importance that we're going to have. Veretragna is powerful and boundless time, religious knowledge, wisdom, far ganak, nirvan agnanam, and the long periods. The kista is thought in general, and in reference to the good law, we have thoughtfulness, kitas thete, and previously we had thought kitam, and the keepers of the treasures would be the kista. Keepers of the treasures, what's the word here? Van guhe. Veretem Havareno, the Havareno of the priests, that it cannot be forcibly seized, means that one must take possession of it through virtue and righteous exertion. The Nerya Sang and Pahlavi commentary to Yasna 1 and 4, and 80 Arstat, the holy word, and Darga Upayana, the genius of teaching. Siksam Adris Yaru Tanim, Yasna 112, and Samyad in memory. 88 are boundless. Anagra, the Parsi, Aneran. The infinite light, Matra. The abode of Mazda is referred to the long traditional teaching and the results of that. And the blessing, Afrete, is twofold, one by thought, one by words. The blessing by words is more powerful. The curse, Upamana, is thought to be the more powerful. Upamana is the same as the Vedic Manu. Ingra Manu, that kind of relates there. In contradistinction to the general invocations, the blessing, Afrete, is twofold, one by thought, one by words. The blessing, I already said that. And so some of this commentary is secondary, so I guess this is the place to stop, and Sirozah 2 is next.